Hi, and welcome to the video for Business English Unit 1, which looks at numbers. This unit is a quick review of something that you should always get correct, and I'm sure you do. I've based the exercises in this unit on the chapters from two excellent business English books, Financial English by Ian Mackenzie and Business Vocabulary and Use Elementary by Bill Maskell. The first thing we're going to do is look at how to say zero. There are actually 6 ways to say zero, the 5 ways below, and duck, which is a sports term found in cricket. But I'm guessing you won't play cricket or watch it that much, so there's no need to worry about that example of zero too much. As you can see, the other 4 ways, apart from duck and zero, are oh, love, naught, and nil. So when do you say each one? Well, have a look at the following questions. Think about how you would say zero in each of those contexts. Okay, so how would you say the 0 before the decimal point, and how would you say the 0 after it? The first would be 0.004, and the next number would be 0.902. It's cold. In fact, the temperature is -5 degrees. How can I say this by using one of the 5 options above? I could say it's 5 degrees below 0. I have to get a bus to work. It's bus number 501. If a bus or tram number is only 2 numbers, then we say that number as a whole number, like the number 16 or the number 62. But if the bus number is 3 digits or more, we say each digit separately, saying 0 as O. Radwanska is winning in the tennis. The score is 40-love, 5 sets to 0. So the in-game score is love and the set score is 0. Lewandowski scored a hat-trick last week and Bayern won 6-0. So in most sporting events, as you can see, 0 is expressed as 0. The company moved headquarters in 2003, almost 100 years after being formed in 1908. I'll explain that year convention a little bit later on. Can you put that on my bill, please? I'm in room 209. This follows the same convention as for bus or tram numbers. Can you reach me on 00482260100806? I'll explain telephone number conventions in just a few seconds. So how many of those did you get right? I've explained a few of the rules above, but for the rest of the rules, please watch further. Let's talk decimal points. What's the difference between these two numbers? Well, the first is 10,001, the second is 10.001. The number before the decimal point is read out as a normal whole number. The numbers after the decimal point get read out separately as O's and not zeros. And please note that we say point and not dot. So how would you say the following? 10.66, 0.325, 0.001. However, there is an exception for money. Each number before and after the decimal point gets read out as a whole number, so this is $10.66. Okay, let's take a quick look at the rules behind hundreds, thousands and millions. The difference between British English and American English is in the placement of and between hundreds and tens. For example, I would say the first number as 100,567 in British English and 100,567 in American English. The next number would be said as 2,684,380 in British English and 2,684,380 in American English. The final number would be said 10,501,683 in British English and 10,501,683 in American English. Easy peasy. You can say either, but just remember to be consistent. Saying 10,501,683 would be an error. The other thing to mention is that we use commas to separate billions, millions and thousands, not decimal points. So 100.567 would be wrong. This is particularly important as the Polish convention is the opposite. Percentages. The first thing to mention is that for both percent and percentage, the stress is on the cent, so percent and percentage. Let's practice that quickly now. 0.6%, what's 30% of 180, and they've increased interest rates by 2%. Please note that we use decimal points, not commas, so 3,5% would be wrong. It should be 3.5%. Telephone numbers. Generally, we read out telephone numbers individually with the zeros expressed as O in British English and 0 in American English. So in British English, the following phone number would be 0048 22652 3777. However, where we have doubles and triples, we can 22 or 777. So we could say the number as 0048 22 652 3777. Purely for vocabulary's sake, the first 4 digits are known as the country code, and the following 2 digits are the city code. So in communicating the same number, you might say the country code is 0048, the city code is 22 652 3777. Okay, let's have a look at fractions and numbers as adjectives. How would I say the following fractions? The first number in a fraction is a cardinal number, in other words, a whole number. The second number is an ordinal number or adjectival, which can be pluralized. So you read out the first number as a whole number and then the second number as an adjective. Just by way of example, the last 4 fractions here, 2/3, 8/9, 1/10, 3/25. The exception to the rule are the first 2, 1/2 and 1/4. A number before a noun like an adjective is always singular, so a lesson which is 50 minutes long is a 50-minute lesson. Try changing these examples in the same way. A 16-week semester, a $20 reduction, a 2.5 litre bottle. Please note the use of the decimal point there. I could also say a 2.5 litre bottle, and a 100-year-old house. Calculating with numbers. First of all, think about the verbs for the following mathematical functions. They are to add, to subtract, to multiply, and to divide. However, how do we express the following arithmetic? To add is 3 plus 3 or 3 and 3. To subtract is 3 minus 3 or 3 take away 3. To multiply is 3 times 3 or 3 multiplied by 3. To divide is 3 divided by 3. It's important to get this correct, as without this vocabulary, your message can get very confused when you're explaining arithmetic. Okay, last of all, let's look at time. In British English, we follow a 12-hour clock except for timetables and military time. Therefore, we talk about 12-hour clock time. So 22 o'clock cannot exist, nor can 14 o'clock. Very often I hear, let's meet at 16. Please remember that we use the 12-hour clock. Because we use the 12-hour clock, we have to know how the day is divided up, as 6 o'clock happens twice a day in 2 different parts of the day. So we have to say these parts of the day. If I say I'll meet you at 6 when? So 5 a.m. to 11:59 a.m. is in the morning. 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. is in the afternoon, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. is in the evening, 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. is during the night. So please say 6 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the evening. It'll make life a lot easier for the listener. Please remember that 12 p.m. is midday, the first minute of the afternoon, and 12 a.m. is midnight, the first minute of a new day. Very often the mistake is made, let's meet at 12 a.m. That might be right if you're going clubbing, but not if you want to talk business. Probably. Let's also review parts of the hour. 1 minute to 30 minutes are past the hour, and 31 to 59 minutes are to the next hour. So 4:30 is 4:30, not 4:30. 4:16 is 16 past 4, and 4:38 is 22 to 5. The last thing is the difference between this versus next when talking about upcoming days or weeks. This week versus next week is easy to understand. However, this Monday or next Monday is actually quite difficult to work out. The convention is this Monday is the upcoming Monday. Next Monday is the Monday the week after the upcoming Monday. So I'll see you next Tuesday is not the next Tuesday coming up, but the one after that. This is confusing if this Tuesday is actually next week, i.e. we're talking on Wednesday, the week before the next Tuesday comes up. Therefore, to avoid any possible confusion, use the date as well. So I'll meet you next Tuesday, that is the 27th. One thing that we haven't mentioned yet is year convention. Normally when we talk about a year, we break up that 4-digit number into two parts, and we say the first and second part as whole numbers. So 1986 or 1873. The only problem that we have is the decade starting with the year 2000. We cannot say 2000. So for the first 10 years, we can either say 2001, 2002, 2003, and so on, or we can say 2001, 2002, 2003, and so on. By the time we get to 2010, all the way through to 2020, then the convention returns, although some people still do continue to say 2016, 2017. I guess this whole century might be considered as a possible exception to the rule, where there might be two different date conventions, so 2059 could be also said as 2059. There we go. We've covered a lot of ground and we've covered it quickly, so please go back over the video to make sure you've got everything, and please have a look at the links below the videos to find out more.